Welcome, all my investors and traders. This is Anthony, the author of Simplified Profits, your veteran trader and investor with over 23 years of experience in the market. Thanks for tuning in to Simplified Profits, the channel where we love to make our money print money by capitalizing on the market swings and keeping things simple enough that anybody can do it. And this is our first episode of the transparent account. We were planning on starting running in 2024, but we started 2 weeks early. And I'll show you these two stocks charts and why we started a few weeks early. These are some of my favorite long-term positions. And we will be adding on any pullback. But we went ahead and took advantage of the pullback now a couple weeks before 2024. But we're not trading them. We're not selling them unless they all of a sudden dip under the 200-day moving average, which I'm not expecting. As you can see here, both are close to 26% of the portfolio, which is more than I like. I usually like my long-term stocks to be roughly around 20 to 30% of the overall portfolio. Now, I usually run two separate accounts, one trading account, one investing account, like long-term investing. But if I'm running one account, I usually like to keep my long-term investment stocks roughly 20-30% of that account. And we will be seeing that with this account because we are going to be trading probably 70 to 80% of this account. So right now it's over 50%, but as this account grows, those will dwindle down by the end of January to 30%. So I'm going to be pumping from January 20% of my income into this account. The best way to grow wealth is to use your income, right? Work, bust your butt, save as much money as you can. Don't let all your money just pass through your hands and go to other places. Don't be in a bunch of debt. Right? If you want to build wealth, grow and be wealthy, keep your money and put it to work, ladies and gentlemen, and put it to work wisely. We're not going to be gambling on this channel. We're not going to be taking high risk. We're not going to have 100% of our portfolio in options. We probably won't touch options at all. You might see me when the account gets bigger. But I know there's a lot of people out there that'll have a entire account and they will, it's almost like they just enjoy going to the stock market casino and they just gamble on options constantly. I feel like I could do very well doing that, but the older you get, the more you weigh risk. So that's what I do. I try to compound profits, take light risk, but at the same time, the light risk is because of knowledge and experience in the market, right? I'm still being very active. I'm still picking long-term stocks. I'm still swing trading, and I'm still compounding profit over and over and over again. So today we decided to go ahead and start this account, which I've had the account set up with $2,000 sitting in it, waiting for January, and I seen both of these stocks get oversold, and for that reason, I went ahead and added. Now it was rough to add 25% each, especially with the market being overbought. And I'll show you that on the stock charts. Usually I don't buy anything when the overall market is overbought. I take that back. Sometimes I will do quick swing trades, and we'll see more of that as the year comes about. Usually I wait for the overall market to pull back and add anything. But these positions, they were oversold. Went ahead and took the risk and picked up both of them. Now, if I get, so my total gain, if I get negative 5% on any of these, I'm probably going to double down. Okay. That's just what I do. I manage my position by keeping my cost average low. If either of them cross under the 200-day moving average, I'll be out. But overall, we started this account with $2,000. We entered these two today. These are the prices paid. These are the percentage of the portfolio. These are the value. And this is the cash we have remaining. and that cash will stay remaining. We'll trade that cash. The market pulls back in January. We will continue to add 20% of our income to on every payday and continue putting that to work. As you can see, this is all just from today, and we will obviously keep an eye on these. If we go under 5% or negative, we will double down on them. But otherwise, we will be keeping our eye open for trades, and we will be growing this account in 2024. I hope you guys have tuned in, subscribed. If you have not, turn on your notifications or can see my posts. So I did put a post out there when I bought these two positions. Also posted something on StockTwits, but that's our position so far in these. It is, in GTBIF, we are up almost 5%, and BWXT, we are down about 1%. Now, I'm not sweating either of those. I know the market fluctuates, and I'm not trying to get rich overnight, ladies and gentlemen. But let's jump into the stock charts on TC2000. I'll kind of give you a rundown of what we're looking at, and basically these positions and some of our future trades. Bear with me. All right, so this is TC2000. All right, GTBIF. Now this, I've been keeping an eye on cannabis for a while. I know a lot of people that were buying up here, and that would have been one heck of a run when it broke over the 200-day moving average there. You had 320% in 10 months. That was huge. But there was a lot of competition. There's a lot of legislation that still needs to be passed. And what kind of got me starting to eye it again is actually all the states that started making it legal. For instance, I live in Ohio. It just became legal for recreational purposes. I think there is a huge market for it. My personal belief is if it comes between cannabis and alcohol, you put a weed bar next to an alcohol bar, both of them have their addictive influences and negative impacts on people, but you're going to have less issues with the people sitting in a cigar shop or a cannabis shop smoking weed than the people drunk on alcohol. A lot more domestic violence, a lot more fist fights. Think of the domestic violence that in our country is caused by alcohol, probably a majority of it. And think if those people were actually mellowed out on some cannabis. That's my personal opinion on it, and you don't have to agree with that. We're talking about investment purposes right now. And the stock chart has once again crossed over the 200-day. Right, it crossed under right here. Definitely would have got out. We don't hold anything under the 200-day moving average. That would have been 70% in 2 years. You lost if you would have held on to that. Which is why we do not hold on to anything under the 200-day moving average. So out of all the cannabis stocks, there's this stock as well I hear a lot about. It has failed to break above the 200-day moving average and hold it yet. And there's many others. Excuse me, but this is my favorite stock chart out of all of them. And digging into the company, they are actually making money. They're positive cash flow. Management seems to be focused on growth, which is great. So usually what I do is I find the bullish chart first. This is a little bit of Peter Lynch philosophy. I'm just kind of paying attention to what I think over the next 10 years has a lot of growth potential. Cannabis and nuclear energy are one of them, which is why these are two of my favorite stocks for long-term growth. So this is my favorite stock chart out of the cannabis sector. As you can see, it's crossed over the 200-day. Now it pulled back. I mean, from here it went up 65% in 25 days and has dropped 30% in a month and a half, and then rallied 45% in a month and a half. So pretty heavy swings right there. Now it didn't hold the 200-day moving average right there. Um, Usually we want to see one or two swings above it, but I'm a fan, honestly. I try not to let emotions like that get to me. And I wanted to capitalize on this latest pullback because I think, honestly, we're gonna see 10 years down the road. Uh, I mean, geez, this could be $100 stock, if not at least 40. That's my belief. Now, here, if anything on the stock chart changes, if this drops under the 200-day moving average, I don't even know if I'd hold it much longer than a day, more or less two, to see if it rallies back above it. I'd probably exit when it crosses under and wait for it to cross back over before I re-entered. That is where we are on this stock right here. This is, and believe it or not, you will probably not see me buy another OTC stock. Right, all my stocks I try to buy for the long term are high cap 1,000. But just looking at the sector, right, getting a Peter Lynch style approach to what I think by looking around, seeing what's going on in the country, where I think there is some future growth for some companies, is definitely cannabis sector, right? It's almost like investing in alcohol during the prohibition. If there was a company that you could have bought stock in, you can only imagine over 10, 20 years once it became legal, how much money you would have made. All right, and the next one we bought was BWXT. Just to kind of give you a little bit of information on this. So if you look in Trizofuel and Project Peel and just nuclear energy overall, when I think about energy, the most logical clean energy that I can think of would be nuclear energy. And Trizofuel seems to really stick out to me. Do a little bit of research. The stock chart first caught my attention in January. Now, it was hard to buy this today because I have multiple accounts, 4 other accounts with this stock already up over 30%. So adding it fresh in this account was kind of hard, but me truly believing in it, 10 years down the road, I believe nuclear energy will be very, very big, especially Trizofuel. Supposed to be a lot safer, and I could be totally wrong. And I will let the chart speak for that. And if it crosses under the 200-day, I will be out until it crosses back over. But I feel like BWXT, they have a lot of government contracts. They are almost one of the first to Trizofuel and Project Peel, which gives them a huge advantage in the market. They're working in healthcare stuff. They have a basically an investor day, February 28th coming up, which my kids actually have this in their custodial account, and they will be listening to that. They have been educated on what it means to own a portion of the company, listening to the investor day and voting and all that good stuff. Teach them young, ladies and gentlemen. But this has been on a trip since January. You can check my stock twits or any YouTube account or anywhere you follow me. I've been telling plenty of people to buy since that opportunity right there, which is up about 35% in 10 months. And I believe this will be a pretty good company to hold over 10 years. If anybody has any better companies out there that you can think of, leave a comment. That will be something I'd be more than happy to check out and leave my feedback. But these two will probably be the 2 long-term positions. We may find others as we go and keep scanning, right, and the bullish oversold, and I see something that, hey, that's a pyramid scheme, and that's crazy. All right, we'll go through these. We'll see where there's some opportunity to put our money. We will check out, right, that ETFs as well. We're going to be doing a lot of hustling and grinding in the market. but very, very wisely, coming up next year, which is right around the corner and possibly even beforehand. So SPY, a lot of the overall market is starting to pull back, but man, I will say it has rallied. And I did say if that baby breaks out and holds it, it'll hit 180 quickly, and it possibly still could rally another 3%. But we will patiently wait for the market to pull back. Kind of excited to get into this next year, which is, man, what a monster. 15% in 8 days. So this is a 4x leverage of SPY they came out with, ladies and gentlemen. You might see me only trading this year. We will see. Kind of excited about the upcoming year, the channel, kind of what I'm doing here. For one, there's many people I know that are watching it and following along. I don't want to say many, but definitely my son and a few others. I think it'll be a good learning experience. It makes me feel good starting off with a new small account, trying to grow it. Just kind of really take a lot of interest in stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, we have started the account off with these two positions. Come January, I don't think we'll have to scale in or lower average. What I will, if that time comes, the next pullback I'm waiting for is the overall market. And when that pulls back, we will be trading some leveraged ETFs. There will be plenty of times where we are trading just overall bullish stocks, and we will just see what 2024 brings us. It could just tank this account, but I don't really think that's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Really all about managing your positions and not taking losses, kind of knowing what you're doing. So that is it. If you haven't subscribed and turned on your notifications yet, I'm going to say I've been doing this for 23 years. There's got to be something in here you can learn. Maybe it's just the simplicity of it, but leave me some feedback. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm out.